Hello, dear friends. I'm so glad you're here. Tonight, I want to share something gentle, something small, and yet maybe something that could quietly change the way you feel in your own body. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever considered that the key to better sleep, less pain, and deeper calm might be sitting quietly right at the center of your body? Yes, I'm talking about your belly button, that soft little space we rarely think about, but which once carried our lifeline. Before we took our first breath, it was through this spot that we were nourished, comforted, kept alive. And even now, decades later, it still holds quiet pathways to your nerves, your circulation, your inner healing. There's an old tradition, simple, natural, and deeply soothing. Just one drop of warm castor oil on your navel before bedtime. That's all. No machines, no routines to memorize. Just your hands, your breath, and a moment of care. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how this practice, rooted in ancient wisdom, can help calm your nervous system, ease joint stiffness, soften your skin, and even support your immune function. It's not magic. It's not hype. It's just nature, still doing what it's always done when we remember to let it in. So stay with me. This could be the most restful few minutes of your day, or perhaps the most healing. Part 1. Ancient wisdom at your center. There's something deeply comforting about a practice that has survived generations. Not because it's trendy, not because it's sold in fancy packaging, but because it worked, quietly, consistently, and with care. Long before the age of complex supplements and instant solutions, healing was a relationship between the body and the earth, between touch and intention. One such tradition, still alive in small corners of the world, is the simple act of massaging castor oil into the belly button each night before sleep. You may wonder, why there? Why the navel? The answer, like most powerful truths, begins in silence. Think back to your earliest beginning, when your body was being formed in the womb. Your belly button was once your first lifeline, the bridge that fed you, nurtured you, allowed you to grow. And even after that cord was cut, the navel remained as more than a mark. It remained as a center, a quiet point of connection linking you to your deepest systems, your digestion, your circulation, your nervous network. In Ayurvedic medicine, the belly button is honored as a sacred channel, a place where warm oils can travel through the skin and into the bloodstream, sending calming signals to your organs, loosening tension from within. In this tradition, castor oil was known for its cooling, anti-inflammatory, and cleansing properties. It was used not only to soften skin, but to soothe the belly, support liver function, and even quiet anxious thoughts at bedtime. But it's not only Ayurveda that saw value in this tiny, often overlooked spot. In rural Europe, grandmothers massaged warm olive oil into their grandchildren's stomachs to ease colic and into their own navels to relieve back pain or menstrual cramps. In West African villages, the belly was oiled with shea butter or castor to help new mothers heal faster and sleep deeper. In Chinese medicine, the area just below the navel, known as the dantian, is considered the wellspring of energy and life force. Modern science now helps us understand what those cultures observed intuitively. The belly button is richly connected to the enteric nervous system, a vast network often called the second brain that influences mood, digestion, immunity, and sleep. Applying warm oil here isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. It increases local circulation, signals the vagus nerve, and gently activates the body's rest and repair response. But beyond the physiology, there's something tender about this practice, something emotional, especially for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or 80s. We've been through a lot. We've carried others. We've endured pain, loss, uncertainty. And somewhere along the way, many of us have forgotten what it feels like to be cared for without needing to earn it. To place your hands on your own center each night with warmth and intention is not just about oil. It's about coming home to yourself. It says, you still matter. You are still worth caring for. You can still heal. Gently, slowly, lovingly. There's something profoundly human about that. No screens, no noise, just you, a bottle of oil, and a moment of stillness. So don't rush this. Let this be your moment. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. And the healing you're looking for may not require a major intervention. It may simply require a return to the center, to your own forgotten wisdom, to the part of you that has always known how to rest, how to repair, and how to begin again. And perhaps it begins right there, at the center of your belly, with a single drop. Part 2, the 10 benefits, grouped by system. Group A, comfort and sleep. Let's begin where so many quiet struggles begin, at night. When the house has gone still, the lights are off, and the distractions are gone. That's when the discomfort makes itself known. The tightness in your back, the restlessness in your legs, the pressure in your gut, and the familiar thought that you won't sleep through the night again. It's easy to accept these things as just aging, but what if your body is simply asking for a new kind of support, something slower, kinder, and rooted in wisdom older than medicine cabinets? Castor oil has been used for centuries, not as a miracle, but as a steady companion in healing. And when applied directly to your belly button, that quiet, tender place that once connected you to life itself, it begins to reawaken systems that modern life has dulled. Let's start with sleep, real sleep, not hours in bed, not dozing in and out, but sleep that repairs, soothes, and lets you rise in the morning with something we all long for: clarity and calm. When castor oil is applied to the navel, it interacts with deep nerve pathways connected to your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you designed to rest, digest, and restore. This sends a gentle message to your brain and your gut. You're safe now. Let go. Margaret, 75, once told me she hadn't slept through the night in over a decade, but when she began using warm castor oil on her belly each evening, something changed. It was like the edge came off, she said. I still woke up sometimes, but I wasn't anxious. My body trusted itself again. And over time, her sleep deepened, naturally. Now think about the ache that lives in your lower back, or the knots you carry in your shoulders or neck. Most people over 60 experience these tensions, but not always because of something wrong. Often, it's accumulated tension, grief, worry, years of carrying others. Castor oil, when applied with care, acts like a gentle bridge. Its anti-inflammatory properties, especially ricinoleic acid, sink through the skin and into the muscles, loosening what's been tight for too long. And it's not just about relief, it's about comfort that lingers. One man, Harold, 69, told me he used to wince every time he rolled over in bed. Now, after massaging castor oil into his back each evening, sometimes with his wife's help, he can stretch out without pain. It's not the oil alone, he said, it's the attention, the kindness. That's what my body was missing. And then there's your gut, that bloated, gurgling, unpredictable gut that seems to rule your day more than you'd like. Most of us don't realize just how sensitive our digestive system is to stress and aging, and more importantly, how responsive it is to tenderness. When you apply castor oil around the belly button, you gently stimulate nerve endings that interact with your intestines. You're encouraging movement, natural peristalsis, and supporting the organs that manage digestion and detox. Over time, this leads to fewer cramps, less gas, and more regularity. Elaine, 73, used to feel full and heavy after even small meals. I felt stuck inside myself, she said, but within a week of beginning her nightly belly oil routine, she noticed her bloating eased. I felt lighter, not just in my belly, but in my mood. And that's what this is all about. It's not about fixing, it's about feeling whole again. So tonight, give yourself the gift of presence. A warm hand, a few drops of oil, a small circle drawn around the place that once gave you life. Let your body know it's not alone. Let your nervous system know it can rest. Let yourself remember you deserve to feel good again, and you can. It begins here, with comfort, with sleep, with one gentle step back toward home. Group B, skin and appearance. And yet, when we offer our skin a moment of comfort, it listens. Let's begin with something simple. Your lips. They've spoken thousands of words, kissed loved ones, sipped tea in silence, and maybe even gone long stretches without care. For many of us, especially in our 60s and beyond, dry, cracked lips feel like just another small annoyance to live with. But it doesn't have to be that way. Each night, take a drop, just a single warm drop of castor oil, and press it softly onto your lips. Let it soak in while you sleep. Its natural richness, full of vitamin E and omega fatty acids, helps restore moisture in a way no lip balm ever truly could. My friend Louisa, 74, told me she stopped wearing lipstick years ago because her lips would peel and hurt by lunchtime. But now? I don't need color anymore, she said. They feel soft, like they remember how to be lips again. Now move with me to your feet, the place that's carried your whole life. Our heels, especially, bear the wear of every decade. The cracks, the roughness, the soreness, they're more than skin deep. They're evidence of all the miles we've walked, often for others. And sometimes we forget they need comfort too. Castor oil, massaged into dry heels at night and covered with soft socks, doesn't just soften the skin. It penetrates through thick layers, hydrating and repairing from within. Over a few days, those cracks begin to smooth. And with them, the quiet pain we've grown used to begins to fade. One woman told me she cried the first time she wore sandals again without feeling embarrassed. I'd hidden my feet for years. Now I walk proud again. Let's not forget the eyes, those honest storytellers of age and emotion. The puffiness that greets us in the mirror, the fine lines we trace with a sigh, they're part of a face that's seen so much. But even here, a touch of castor oil can bring change. Just before bed, tap a whisper of oil beneath each eye, using your ring finger gently like you're calming a child. Castor oil's anti-inflammatory benefits help reduce swelling. Its natural emollients soothe and nourish, softening fine lines that no cream ever seemed to touch. And then finally we arrive at the hands. Hands that have held grief and grace. Hands that have chopped onions, folded laundry, wiped tears, and maybe now tremble a bit. The nails become thinner. The cuticles grow dry. And still, your hands are your history. They deserve reverence. Every night before sleep, take a moment to massage castor oil into your cuticles and nail beds. You'll begin to see resilience return. Cracks disappear. The nail's natural shine comes back, not because you painted it on, but because your body remembers how to glow from within. Glenda, 69, told me that for the first time in years, she accepted a compliment on her hands. I used to hide them in my pockets, she said. Now I hold them open. Isn't that something? Yes, it is. Because how we treat our skin is how we remind ourselves we're still worthy of tenderness. These aren't beauty tips. They're gestures of self-respect. So tonight, take 5 minutes. Oil your lips. Massage your heels. Hold your hands like they matter, because they do. Not for how they look, but for everything they've held and for the quiet beauty still waiting to shine through. Group C, hair and scalp support. There's a moment, often quiet, when you run your hand through your hair and realize it feels different, thinner, drier, not quite like it used to. For many of us, that shift sneaks in slowly over the years, and it's easy to brush it off, to say it's just age. But beneath that, there's something else, the desire to feel like yourself again. That's where this small ritual can begin, one that starts not with expensive products or promises, but with your own touch and a few drops of castor oil. Let's begin with the scalp, often overlooked, yet it's where every strand of hair is born. As we grow older, the scalp can become dry, itchy, and prone to flakes. Dandruff isn't just a nuisance, it's a reminder that our skin, even beneath our hair, needs nourishment. Castor oil, thick and soothing, offers just that. Its antifungal and anti-inflammatory qualities help calm the scalp, moisturize deeply, and restore a healthy environment for your hair to grow. Elaine, 70, told me she thought she'd have to live with dandruff forever. But I started massaging castor oil into my scalp twice a week. And not only did the itching stop, my scalp actually felt soft again. No more white flakes on her shoulders, no more discomfort at the roots. Then there's the hairline, the brows, the places where hair once grew thick and full, now faded into a softer frame. That can affect how we see ourselves and how we feel in a room. But again, this isn't about erasing time. It's about reminding your body that it still knows how to grow. With regular, gentle application, using a cotton swab for brows or fingertips for the temples, castor oil delivers fatty acids and vitamin E directly to the follicles. Over time, it helps strengthen those delicate areas and supports fuller, healthier strands. One viewer, George, 68, told me his granddaughter noticed his eyebrows looked like they came back. He laughed when he said it, but you could tell it mattered, because what this really comes down to isn't hair, it's care. It's the belief that you're still worth the time, the ritual, and the nourishment. You don't need to chase youth. You just need to support the version of you that's still becoming. So tonight, take a quiet moment. Rub the oil between your palms. Touch your scalp like it's sacred, because it is. And so are you. Group D. Immunity and healing. There comes a point in life when we stop rushing to heal. Not because we've given up, but because we've learned that healing takes its own time, that it arrives quietly, not in force, but in presence. And with age, that truth becomes clearer. But here's something comforting. Even now, your body is still listening, still responding, still protecting you. Sometimes all it needs is a small nudge, a nightly act of trust. Let's start with something few of us talk about, the lymphatic system. It's not dramatic like your heart or visible like your skin, but it's essential. It's your body's internal drainage network, filtering waste, flushing out toxins, and supporting your immune system behind the scenes. And as we grow older, it can slow down quietly, leading to inflammation, fatigue, or a sluggish immune response. When you massage castor oil into your belly button area, you awaken that hidden highway of healing. The oil's warmth and natural anti-inflammatory compounds help stimulate lymph flow, gently moving stagnation and supporting your immune system in a way that feels almost meditative. There's something deeply grounding about it. You're not pushing, you're partnering with your own body, with its memory of how to care for you. Then there's the smaller stuff, the little cuts, the skin irritations, the paper-thin scrapes that take longer to heal than they used to. It's in those tiny moments that castor oil quietly shines. With its antibacterial, antifungal, and soothing properties, it helps seal, protect, and restore without overwhelming the skin. No sting, no chemicals, just a thin layer of healing comfort. Helen, 75, told me she started applying it to the backs of her hands, places where her skin was thinnest. It's not just the healing, she said. It's how cared for I feel doing it, like I'm telling my skin I'm still with you. And isn't that what healing really is? Not a fix, not a fast track, but a reconnection, a way of saying, you're still strong, you're still worthy of attention, you still know how to mend, whether it's from the outside or deep within. So tonight, if you're feeling a little worn or a little vulnerable, remember, healing doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it begins with something as simple as a drop of oil, a warm hand, and the decision to believe in your body's quiet, enduring wisdom. Part 3. How to apply it right. Sometimes the most powerful healing tools aren't found in a prescription or a pill bottle. Sometimes they live in the quietest gestures, like warming oil between your palms and gently placing it over your belly. Castor oil is one of those tools. But how you use it, how you slow down, how you approach it with intention, makes all the difference. It begins with what you choose. Not all oils are created equal. When shopping, look for organic, cold-pressed, and hexane-free castor oil. These words aren't just labels, they're promises. Organic means it comes from plants grown without harmful pesticides. Cold-pressed means the oil was extracted without heat, preserving the healing nutrients. And hexane-free? That means it's free of chemical solvents that don't belong in your body. Once you have your bottle, the practice begins. There are 3 beautifully simple ways to welcome this into your life. None of them require anything fancy. Just your hands. Just a little care. 1. The sacred center. Belly button application. This is the most powerful, most symbolic, and often the most emotionally grounding method. Warm a few drops between your fingertips, then gently circle the oil into and around your belly button. The navel is more than a scar. It's a center of energy, once your literal lifeline. This practice connects to the vagus nerve, the liver, the intestines, all the deep systems we forget to thank. Done at bedtime, it becomes a signal to your body. Rest now. You're safe. 2. Soothe and seal. Feet and back method. If you carry tension in your lower back, or if your heels have grown dry and cracked, this method brings both relief and comfort. Rub the oil generously into your back or onto your feet, and then slip on soft cotton socks or rest against a towel. The oil seeps in as you relax. Over time, this simple act can transform tightness into ease and dryness into softness. 3. The warming ritual with towel or oils. To deepen the effect, especially for aching joints or chronic pain, you can pair castor oil with gentle heat or calming essential oils like lavender, chamomile, or eucalyptus. After applying the oil, place a warm compress or heating pad on the area for 15 to 20 minutes. This isn't just physical healing, it's emotional. It's you taking time to feel, breathe, and soften. And if you have sensitive skin, here's a kind reminder. Always start with a patch test, just a drop on your forearm. Wait 24 hours. If there's no irritation, you're good to go. If your skin is delicate, try mixing castor oil with a bit of almond or olive oil to create a gentler blend. What matters most isn't the method, it's the message that your body is still worthy of care. That healing isn't just for the young or the injured, it's for anyone willing to pay attention. And when your hands touch your skin, slowly, kindly, with no judgment, that's when the real restoration begins. Tonight, don't rush. Light a candle, play soft music, close the door. This is your time. A time to tend to the skin that's carried your stories, to honor your healing not as an emergency but as a ritual. You're not applying oil, you're writing a love letter to your body and to the life you still have left to feel. Part 4. Gentle Evening Ritual, More Than a Remedy. What if healing was never about doing more, but about doing less, more meaningfully? There's something quietly sacred about a nightly routine. Not the kind filled with obligations, but one built from kindness, a dim light, a warm room, a few deep breaths, and your hands, soft, slow, present. Each evening, try this. Place a few drops of castor oil in your palm. Warm them gently. Press them into the skin around your belly. Move in small, slow circles, not as a chore, but as a conversation with the part of you that's been waiting to be noticed. Let this be your transition, not from day to night, but from effort to ease, from the world's noise to your own stillness. Some call it self-care, but for many of us, it's something deeper, a moment to remind your body you've done enough today, and you're still worthy of tenderness. You don't need perfection, just presence. This ritual isn't about fixing, it's about returning. Let it be your gentle gateway to rest. Part 5. Common questions plus gentle truths. When something feels this simple, it's easy to wonder, can it really make a difference? Let's walk through a few honest questions you might be holding in your heart. Do I have to use castor oil every day? No. You're not building a habit out of guilt. This is grace, not pressure. Try 3 nights a week to begin. Let it feel good, not like another item on your list. How soon will I feel something? Some feel a shift within days. For others, it takes a few weeks. It depends on what your body is carrying. But here's what's constant. Each time you return to the ritual, you're planting seeds of calm, trust, and healing. And that's never wasted. Is it for everyone? Mostly, yes. But always do a skin test. And if you're unsure because of medications, pregnancy, or skin conditions, talk with someone you trust medically. Healing should always feel safe. And finally, the question beneath all the others. Is it worth it? Yes. Because this isn't just about the oil. It's about what it represents. The moment you choose to care. The quiet promise to yourself that you're still worth showing up for. There is no secret cure. But there is a quiet truth. When you treat your body with love, it responds in kind. And maybe that's the most powerful healing of all. Because you still matter. Tonight, give yourself the gift you've given so freely to others. Care, attention, and time. Try 1 drop. Just 1. Not for results, not for a fix. But as a quiet reminder to your body, I haven't forgotten you. I'm still here, and you still matter. This isn't about reversing the years. It's about reclaiming your rhythm. 1 bedtime ritual. 1 moment of rest. 1 act of love. So tell me, which part of your body are you ready to listen to again? Type it in the comments. You never know who you'll inspire with your answer. And if this message felt like a breath of fresh air, a return to something softer, please like, share, and subscribe. You're not alone on this journey, because here we believe healing isn't loud, it's gentle, and aging isn't the end, it's the deepest beginning yet.